All right, we had a stream crash there for a second, but we are back, I believe. And Fury Fate, thank you for the last minute sub as we start the show. It is black screen, but I fixed that. So let's get to it here, everybody. Welcome to Sunday night, and it is All Things Fantasy Grounds Talk Show, which is
I
meant to
love
teach and
you,
help.
man.
I love you too, Jonan. Thanks for the sub. It's meant to teach and help, but the opinions stated by Fury and I on the show are not that of Smiteworks USA LLC or Fantasy Grounds. And Furied, how are you this evening?
I'm great. I took a 5-hour nap this afternoon and avoided all types of Easter celebration, meaning I did not get confetti in my hair, which is always a wonderful.
I wasn't aware of the Easter tradition confetti in your hair.
Well,
But
no, okay, so in Texas, there's cascarones, which are eggs filled with confetti and other stuff. If you're evil, you put glitter in there, or if you're really evil, you put what is it, flour and glitter, especially if it's drizzling outside. Super fun. So yeah, the kids they find these confetti eggs and they smash them on each other and the adults, and you get goddamn confetti in your hair.
I see. Well, I also avoided confetti in my hair, and I did take a nap as well today. I had to. I got up and played a game with Gwydion and a bunch of other players this morning, and it was like I got up at 6 o'clock and it was nuts. All right. This might be the shortest show that we ever do. Just an advance warning to those of you watching live on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube later, hit the subscribe button.
I love you, man.
Oh, Walking Dude, subscriber, I love you too. Thanks for the sub. And
But since it is going to be a short show, or at least be assumed,
I love
that means
you,
if your friends are
man.
not here, they're not going to win free shit. So you might want to
That's
give them
right.
a little like, hey, get your ass over here.
Boffrin, thanks for the sub. I did want to say that if you're watching on YouTube, that means you're missing out on live crap. And what we're gonna do, I'm showing you now the spell token thing we're gonna go over, and we're gonna give a couple of these away at the end of the show. Now, how I'm gonna do that is, since this is not my module, it costs $5, but I can't give away free copies of it because it was done by this guy G Jensen. So I'm going to give away 2 $5 gift certs on the DMs Guild to the winners, and then they can go purchase it if they'd like to do that. So this came out in October of 16, and I bought it right away, and I've been using it. I don't use it that much, and the reason I don't is I just forget. But Gwydion used it today, and I try to use it if I remember. It's super cool. So basically, what this is tokens that represent something for the map on any spell that's persistent. So, for example, Fireball is just a flash and then it's over. So there's no Fireball one. It's only ones that you need to leave on the map for an extended time. So here's a list of what they all are here, right there. And then I'll show you in Fantasy Grounds. The module doesn't have, the guy that did it didn't put a cover on it. So there's just a blank thing, but there's 2 versions of it. There's spell tokens 70 pixels and spell tokens 140 pixels. So depending on how you got your maps or whatever, I just have the 70 pixel one open here. And they're all listed in NPCs, but you don't really access them that way. They'll literally appear in your tokens like this. So here they all are. Now there is a tricky thing, and the reason for the show, the reason to show you this, is because most people get frustrated by this when they first get it. So we'll just pick one at random here. Let's say Ensnaring Strike. So every token that you put on the map will be in a 5-foot square. So if it's bigger than that, you of course have to hold control, grab it with your mouse, and then not move it, but sort of push in on it to make it get bigger. And it's very frustrating because it can move. You have to keep your mouse with the spell. So I don't know how I really don't know how big it is, but let's say it's this
cheer
big.
bits in the stream. Thanks for the cheer
Fury
bits.
Fate. Oh, Fury Fate does cheer bits. That's very exciting. So you can rotate it around if you want to do that, and if you hold the control key and make sure that your mouse. See, like if I do it in the middle here, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to scroll the map. But if I make it so that the hand is on the token, you can then make it bigger or smaller. And again, holding the control key. So let's say it's about that big, and then this way you can put it on the map. You can then move it to wherever it's supposed to be. So that's just an example. The example that got used today in Gwydion's game is, and then you have to right click and delete token, right? This one, I don't know how he did it so fast, because Gwydion had it on there before I even noticed it. but CJ in the game today cast a wall of fire, and Gwydion had it on. Now, see, when you drag the token over, it's pretty big. You can see it, but when you drop it on the map, it's going to get small. It's going to go into a 5-foot square somewhere. It's like, look how small that is. So that is the frustrating part of it, but once you let me try and tilt it. I'm trying to tilt it the other way. There, like that. Okay, now I'm going to make it big. And I think Wall of Fire is like 60 feet. So it doesn't, I'd have to draw a line and see how far 60 feet is. Oh, that is 60 feet. Well, I'm not good, huh? Fine. So yeah, you cast a Wall of Fire, and like say this Rob Tui token, cast it to the Fury Fate token and put it between. Like, hey, I'm going to put a Wall of Fire right there. Bam, like that. So you can see that these tokens are really cool. And rather than what you would normally do is probably the DM would just draw a line like I did. Like that would be your Wall of Fire. Okay, line, lame. But now you've got an actual visual representation of it, so it's super cool. So that's basically the entire lesson on how to use that. Now, if anybody watching wants to see a particular one, I will certainly do that. You can call out a spell, and I'll go find it and put it on the map.
We do have some questions.
Okay.
Like, does the map need to be unlocked to place the tokens?
Does the map need to be locked? Let's find out.
Or unlocked, whichever.
I don't think that means anything at all. It should probably be gridded. See, like I have a grid, so let's ungrid the map and let's see what happens when I put that on there. So now there's no grid on the map, and if I put the token, it might turn out to be. So if you put the token, it comes on there a little bigger, but it's the same thing as if if I place a token on the map without a grid that's a player, it's always bigger like that too, right? So it will be bigger, but then now you have to grid the map, and it's a giant pain in the ass. So the answer to the question is, if you have it ungridded, it will be bigger, but then now you don't have a grid, so you've got that whole problem. So let me erase that. Locking or unlocking tokens won't have an effect on that. The thing is, if you put a token on the map and tokens are see now, why is that big? Oh, because I didn't regrid the map. Yeah. So if tokens are locked, then if you try to move it, oh no, that doesn't. Sorry, never mind. Never mind what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the movement might apply with a drawn out line, but DMs don't have that happen to them anyway. So.
Diablo. Oh no, sorry. Matakiri was saying if you drop a token on a map without a grid, the token size will depend on its resolution compared to the resolution of the map.
Yeah. So, and that's rarely going to happen because almost 100% of the time the maps will have a grid because that you want the player tokens to be proper, right? So if I regrid the map. Now, like one you see a lot of Spiritual Weapon, which is just 5 feet, but Spiritual Weapon goes there, and then it can get moved around, and it's really cool. We use that one all the time. As a matter of fact, I do use that a lot, but I never use the other ones, and I don't know why I don't. But it is also a rare thing that most of these spells are a little higher level, but like a good one that gets used a lot is Spike Growth, which I think is it this one? Yeah, so Spike Growth you can put on there and then make it bigger. And see the problem, the reason the map keeps scrolling in is it is a very precise thing. You have to put your icon has to change from the pointer to the hand, and then as you scroll, the token size changes and the hand might slip off and become the pointer again. So you kind of just have to work with it as much as you can. It's usually easier to do it on the edges. So say that's 120 feet or whatever the hell Spike Growth is, 60 feet, I don't know what it is. But then you can put it wherever you want it, right on top of Fury's character's head. And you can spin it too. If you don't hold control, obviously you can spin it just like you can any other token. But that looks pretty cool, as opposed to just a circle there. Now, if tokens are in it, it might get it might get weird if you try to move a token. See, like I tried to move this token, and it actually moved spike growth, and so that might happen sometimes. So you just kind of have to be careful. But I find that it's kind of annoying for the DM, but most players love it. Because players,
We're visual people. We love
right?
it.
And also, if the player tries to move the token, it doesn't move. So only the DM gets that frustration, but the players just love it. So
Diablo Bob, we actually tested that, and no, right now players cannot place tokens onto the map. As much as we would love to, we can't.
Yeah, good question. What I did before the show started, because Fury asked me that, was I took all the tokens, and they're obviously going to be in the host file, in your tokens host file. So there they all are. And I copied them and put them into the shared file, and it did not work. So that I know of, players cannot access the tokens. Only DMs can. Now, somebody may come up with an idea about how to do that one day, but as far as I can tell at this point, only the DMs can do it. Which is good and bad. It's kind of bittersweet because you don't want players fucking around. But if the player could place their own spell token, that would be kind of cool. What the hell is this? Mouth of the Angel? What's this called? What? I don't know. I'm about to get kissed. What's happening? Magic Mouth, that's called. So there you go. So let's see. Did we miss any questions? If you drop a token, okay, we got that. If you extract the images, you can modify the transparency a little to make it easier to handle. Oh, okay, so that would be something that you could do as an extra thing. But yeah, when you have this token, or when you have this module, you do have access to all those images. They will be in your tokens host file. So here they all are. So I could, if I wanted to, I could click edit, and I could go in there and edit stuff if I wanted to. And maybe that might not be the best, because these are PNGs, right? So they've got see-through. So maybe Photoshop or GIMP would be better than. As a matter of fact, here, let me open that same one in Photoshop. Open with Photoshop, and then it should have a transparent background when I do that. And some of the, if some of you with eagle eyes may have caught rapier and torch and sword, those aren't part of it. Those happen to be in the same folder. Yeah, see, so this is a transparency. So I don't know, Matakiri, which in what manner you would manipulate the transparency, but you certainly could. But anyway, that's a low down and dirty lesson on the tokens, and I'll now give some away in case people want to get those. In my game, I found that I use spiritual weapon almost every time, unless I'm trying to be funny and I put like a cow out there or something. But this
I don't
token
know. I
here,
think a well was really funny.
the well.
Yeah, someone put a well.
Oh yeah.
A whale.
Oh, a whale, Texas accent. And some of them, like the spike growth, is pretty cool, but if there's tokens inside of it, you might have a little trouble. I think people really enjoy using this if they have layered maps, but that layered map extension was making me crazy. Now, when Unity comes out, they'll have layered maps as part of the deal, so you can put all these spell effect tokens on one layer. And as a matter of fact, I don't know what you might do. You could, I just thought of this. If you had layered maps, you could put all those spell tokens on a layer, resize them to the proper size, and then make them all invisible. And that way you can just have them like down in one corner of the map, and then if somebody casts a spell, you can just whip one out real quick. That's a lot of work to do before on each map, but you could do it. I'm referring to modifying the alpha channel so it's not fully transparent. Usually it looks the same, but FG treats it as a solid rather than a hollow transparent areas. The alpha channel. Oh, if I only knew what he was talking about. The alpha channel. First of all, this isn't layered. It's just one thing. But stay tuned for Matakiri's show at 7 p.m. on Sunday nights called After Fantasy Grounds Talk Show.
Right, where he pulls everything into Photoshop and fixes shit.
Yeah, Bill Maher and 60 Minutes. There's a couple other shows on TV that do like a YouTube after the show thing. Join us for that. In a PNG, you have RGB and alpha. The alpha refers to the transparency. Do I? I don't know. I don't know how to manipulate all that. But if he's saying you can do it, I believe him because he knows what he's talking about. All right. Well, let's give these away to somebody who might be interested. If you're a DM and you want to use these, then you should. So I'm going to give away $10. I'm going to give away 2 $5 gift certs. Let's see, DM's Guild. There's nothing I can do to stop you. You can buy something else with the $5, but the purpose is that you would buy these spell tokens. But I'll give away 2 DM's Guild $5 gift certificates for whatever you want to use it on. And let's see, we're going to make the keyword. What's the keyword going to be, Furied?
Tokens.
Yeah, tokens. What's up? So we'll start that. We'll click on the start. We'll run a 2-minute timer. You guys can type in keyword tokens. Remember to put the exclamation point in front of it. And then I'll give away 2 $5 gift certs out of my own pocket. And then and then you guys can go. And again, I'll put the link in the chat, by the way. If you don't win and you still want it, I'll give you the link. And it's called Dungeons and Dragons 5e spell tokens. And if you get it, there is a small and a large. It comes with 2 modules, small and large. So you can, whichever one you find easier to use, that's what you'll get. And I think is there 60 spells? I think there's 60 of them. So wow! So out of 400 spells or 408 spells or whatever it is in the 5th edition game, and I believe this is only Player's Handbook, because I don't think he goes beyond that to Mordenkainen's or anything like that. Yeah, that'd be an interesting question, though. I wonder if anybody's asked him that. The resolution of the tokens, the actual pixel dimensions of the tokens are different. Okay, I knew that. Oh, his name is Gareth. Did anybody ask him if he's updating them? Doesn't look like anybody's asked. How do you get these to work in Fantasy Grounds? Oh my god, that's my death question. Oh, can you please add Watery Sphere? I will be adding the appropriate spells from Skag, Xanathars, etc. when I have time. Depending on it, but I've just got Xanathars. It's going to take me a time to go through all the spells. Okay, so he is planning on making updates, and I did see that he published this in October of 16, but he updated it in July of 17. So it's been almost 2 years since he's made an update, but I think his plan is to continually update them. But he probably has, Gareth Jensen, he probably has like a job and a life, and he doesn't sit at home with his computer on his lap all day like I do. Okay, let's see. How did we do? Does the timer run out yet? Yes, it did.
Yep, it should have.
All right, so let's draw a winner, and we'll draw another winner. So the first winner is, Valerian. Very good. So Valerian, just PM me in Discord and let me know your DM's Guild email, and I'll send you a $5 gift cert. And the second winner is, Valerian is a follower of the channel, everybody. There you go. That's how you do it. The second winner is Digital Prophet. Awesome. So congrats to you both. I know Valerian is. I don't know about Digital, but let me put the Discord link in. Boom. Hey, Lensman, what's up? So, yeah, come to the Discord, Digital and Valerian, and PM me. And then I will make sure that you guys get your gift certs so that you can go buy this or anything else. But I would assume you would want to buy this because that's why you entered. So if you
pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. If you have, the idiosyncrasies and the little problems that it might have that you saw when we went through it, notwithstanding, it is very cool to have these. And for all the work if you look at these and how much this guy had to draw and really think out how they were and what they look like, that's a lot of work. I'm no artist, but this is something I absolutely could not have done. Like this Big B's hand, that looks pretty involved. Yeah, I mean, I'm not drawing that. That's just not going to happen. So the fact that this guy did it, it's worth $5 for sure. So there you go. That's going to be the shortest show on record, less than a half an hour. We're going to end up by, even if we bullshit a couple more minutes, it's only been 20 minutes. Is there any easy way to make the tokens bigger and smaller? Some of them zoom weird. So the only way to make them bigger and smaller is to, scroll in like that on the map. You could change the size of the token, but that wouldn't really help you because if you have a scaled map, anything you put on it's going to be within 5 feet. I suppose, let's see, they're NPCs, right? Wait a minute, we might have just thought of something here. Hold on, you might have triggered something here. So if I put... Oh, yeah, you can also put them as an NPC, right? Okay, so here's what you do. This is what you do. Hold on. I might have just discovered a whole new thing, everybody. Right here at the end of the show, I might have just discovered something. What if I put... Let's use the wall. Wait, not from the tokens, but from the NPCs itself. So you go to the token file, you go to the NPCs. So every spell token is an NPC. What if I go to Wall of Fire? Wall of Fire, where the hell is it? Oh, and there's, Wall of Fire round, Wall of Fire straight. Oh, very good. So there's the two different, So what if I say, what's that big one? Spike growth, right? Here it is. So I'm going to put spike growth in here. And I'm going to open up the size. Which one is it? It's this one, okay. So I'm going to open, and I'm going to say that the size isn't 5. I'm going to say the size is 60. Now let's see if this does anything. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. All right, I drag it over. Oh my God! There you go, everybody. You don't need to resize them. Just do it in the combat tracker.
Nice.
Now I can make that. I can make it a yellow like that, and it'll take away the background. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh my God, everybody! I don't know. And you know what? I'll bet you if hold on a second. I bet you if I go to this here and go like that. Okay, no, he doesn't have instructions. There's no reference manual or story entries in here. But and then I don't bother to read here. But anyway, I guess we just discovered that, everybody. If you put those in the combat tracker, so not my method, which I showed by dragging them here, which you still can do. But if you use the NPC list, you go to spell tokens, and you can put any of these in the combat tracker. So I'm going to put my Call Lightning in the combat tracker. There's my Call Lightning token spell. Make it visible, and then resize it to whatever you want. Call Lightning's probably like 120, and then grab it. Yeah. Oh, and then change the color of the background. There you go. Boom. Wow, that's way faster.
Do they include the background as part of the 120?
No, I had to change the 120 thing.
Right, but like when it had the red background, is that included in the 120, or is the image itself 120?
Oh no, it's just because it's depending on what the token is. Like that's friendly, that's neutral, that's enemy, and then that's nothing. Okay. So you would just change it to the nothing, right? Because you're basically it's treating the token as an NPC. That's why it gave it that background, right? So like all the players are green and all the monsters are red, and then there's neutral or nothing. Because there's 4 settings on that. There's
would you change the reach to 0? Would that change
the reach to 0? Now I think if you change anything, like here's the 60 to 0, if you change anything while it's on the map, it doesn't affect it. But if I delete that token, hello, how come I can't delete it? Oh, because it's a reach 0. Holy shit. I can't. Oh, that's kind of funny. I can't delete that token now. Well, I guess. All right, hold on. I think since I screwed with that, it made it. So now, but if I do call lightning reach 0 now and I put it on the map, it might not show up. That theoretically that's what would happen. No, it just makes it in a 5-foot square. Because I think the default, like, size 0 isn't a thing, so I think the default's 5.
Okay, Mad Carey just brought up a thing. Remember, if you have the option to set token size to 80% of the square, it won't be the accurate size.
Right, so you'd have to beef it up like that. So the background would be, and that's how you can tell, is you can go up to the size of the background like I did, then take off the background. So like let me get rid of this. So yeah, let's do call lightning, which is 120. Let's put it on there. And I'll show you what he's talking about for those that don't know. In the options, you have you can say auto scale to grid, and most people use 80% of grid. There is 100% and off. So if you use 80%, then I'm gonna see what happens if you use off in a second. So here, call lightning 120. I've got it 80%. So if I did 100%, it would be the right size. So that's 120 feet right there. So let's delete that a second. Please let me delete it. Yeah, that's really weird. I can't find it to delete it, but maybe if I change the background again. Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. I don't know why that's happening, but I cannot find the token to delete it. So that's not good at all. So you might have to wow, I didn't of course in doing this show today, I did not realize this was even a thing, so I didn't test it very much. Okay, there we go. And I can delete it. Okay, so now if I switch it to 80%, which is what most people use, then what you would do is drag it on. And then if you want to be precise, you can turn on any background so you can see how big it is. Well, of course, I'm using a map that's too small. Let's fix that. Wait, why is that? Well, okay, so bad example. I'm fucking up. Oh man, you guys, this is so frustrating. Let's just say let's go back to call lightning, and let's just say that's 60 feet. Let's just say that for the example of it. And of course, now I've closed the map. One of the things in my personality is when shit ain't working the way I want it to, I start to melt down. So I can't really function. But I'll recover here, and then we'll show this again. Okay, so let's do 60 instead of 120, so it's more manageable. Okay, so call lightning 60, put it on the map, and it is going to be 80%, remember. So you can then make the token bigger. Yeah, so that's really weird. So again, I'm having this problem where I can't. There it is. Okay, so now you can size it to the edge of the green. So that'll be the right size, and then now you can get rid of the background. So that it's not showing a background. There we go, like that. Whoops, like that. So that's a great point. Who brought that up? Matakiri? That's a great point. And then the other thing I wanted to check was, let's again erase this. I want to see what happens if you say off. If you say have the scale the grid off. First of all, if you just say off, what happens when you bring a regular player on? It just makes it big? No, I guess not. So if I bring the spell over, yeah, so it didn't size it because it's off. So everything would be 5 feet if you have that setting off. So most people again use 80%. So that's how you would do it. If you're okay with if you're okay with just leaving it at 100% for your game, your the player tokens that you bring on will tend to be right to the edges of the square, which kind of looks odd. Most people are using to have, if I go set it to 80%, I'll show you the difference. Whoop. So the difference is this token's slightly bigger. You see, it's 20% bigger actually, and I wish it. There we go. So I'm trying to get that shade off of there, but I don't think you can do it. But you see that the 100% size is much bigger than the 80% size. So if you're using these tokens, that's how you can fix that problem, or that's how you can manipulate it. If you want to have everything just set at 100%, you never have to resize them. If you have it at 80, then you would just have to resize it, which you can do using the background of the spell, and then changing it to the neutral one so that it disappears. So there you go. Much longer the show than I thought, but still the shortest one ever. So I think that covers every angle. So that's a couple different ways you can use them. I think probably now that we've discovered it, the best way to use the spell tokens is if somebody casts a spell, just put it in the combat tracker and, make it a neutral thing, and then make it visible, and then size it 20 feet.
I love you,
Drag it
man.
onto the map, and there you go. So is that 20? That seems to be only 15. Oh, but that's because it's 80%, right? Duh. So it should be 20 by making, and it's not in a square, it's in a half square. Hey, Min Clark, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. So if I had done this right, it would have been like that. So now it is 20. There you go. And the other thing too, though, hold on. If I switch that to neutral, wait, that's not the right one. Wait, that's not the right one. Ah, yeah, okay. So that's a thing to remember, though, is if you do use it as an NPC, you will have a health bar. You will have a health bar on every token that you use. So that's the thing to remember. Now, again, you can go turn health bars off, but that'll turn it off for the players too. So there's a couple, there's a lot of different, I guess the best word is idiosyncrasies or variables or differences between the ways you use these. So you're just going to have to decide what method is best for you. If you do it the first way I showed, which is drag in the token like this, of course now it's just a token, not an NPC, so there will be no health bar on it. So you have to decide what's best for you in your game and the way you like it when it comes on the map. And then that's how you can do it. All right, first of all, let me just delete everything. Fuck all these things. I hate everything I'm looking at right now. To delete tokens, you guys, you have to right click on the token and then delete it. Now, I keep trying to do that and it doesn't give me the delete token thing. That's because it has to be the hand, not the pointer. There we go. Delete all tokens. Screw it. Everything's gone. And now I'm going to get rid of all this and get rid of this, and get rid of that like that, and get rid of this like this, and like this, and like that. And somehow I deleted Furied as well, so whatever. You're gone, Furied. I'll put you back later.
I'm right now.
So there you go. So that is how you can use those tokens. There might even be different things that we haven't discovered on how to do, but I wanted to show my basic point for the show was to show that they exist and then show that you can use them. Depending on how you want to use them is up to you. But there you go, everybody. So any more questions? Walking Dude says 120 times 125 or times 1.25 is 150. Caveats. Pirate MF, are you trying to say that was another word I could have used? Caveats. Can a player move the token either way? A player cannot move the token. A player can probably move the token the same way they can move their own player token, but then the DM would have to approve it. So if tokens were unlocked, players could move those, yes, but they cannot place them on the map. So Walkington was saying alternate method, multiply the size by 1.25 and leave the scale set at 80%. Oh, right, duh. Just to use math is what you're saying? You're saying just be smart and use math. So if the scale is set at 80%, which I think I still left it at.
I thought that's the whole
Yes.
reason I'm using Fantasy Grounds is to not use math anymore.
Yeah, right. That's why I didn't think of it. I mean, I'm pretty good at math, but I don't like to use it unless I have to. I was the
That's right.
kid.
The Larry got it. This is FG. We don't use math anymore.
Right. I was the kid in school who raised his hand and said, when am I ever going to use this? Like in every class I ever took. Especially geometry. I'm like, I'm never going to. And my teacher goes, driving. And I'm like, okay, I put my hand down. I go, good call. I see what you're saying. We all use, if you drive your car, you use geometry every second of when you're driving your car. You just don't know you're doing it. Am I going to hit that pole? That's geometry. Okay, so let's go back to the library. Let's get an NPC. Let's call it Call Lightning. So I know Call Lightning is 120, but we got a problem on this map. So we're going to say it's 60. But 60 times 1.25 is 75. So I'm going to say the size is 75, but then it should really make it 60.
I love you, man.
Right. Well, fuck, I did it on the wrong. I made the Diablo druid. I did it wrong. Okay. Call Lightning, we're going to say 75 because 60 times 1.25 is 75. And drag it over. And that should be 60. Let's find out. Whoops. Oh, I can't do that way. Okay. So 60 is that big. And that did not work, did it? Wait. Well, first of all, 60 times 1.25. Yeah, a quarter of 60 is 15. Yeah, 75, that's right. Oh, it's the 5-foot reach. Oh. So, yeah, I guess maybe you put 0 reach. Again, I changed the wrong token. Okay, let's delete this. Holy shit. So this show that we're doing right now on this April 21st, 2019, this is the struggle through how to do it. But once you learn how to do it, it's not going to be this bullshit. You're just going to go do it because you'll know what's going on. So 75 size, 0 reach should give us a 60-foot token. Now, let's see if we did that right. Can I please just even grab the token anywhere? Just anywhere. There. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see. Is that 60? Now, it's still not quite, it's still like 55. So there is a little formulaic problem with that. So the way I see the token size being is if you do it 80%. Well, see, so wait a minute. Let's just do a little test here. If I make it 100%, is it still that big? We're learning stuff, everyone. I know. I apologize for those of you that are learning anything. That's never our intent. I apologize for that. You're learning. All right, so 60. I wonder if this ends up still being 55. Come on with this. That's the one thing I do not like is that it's really hard to grab these tokens. It's just super hard to grab them. Okay, let's see. Is that 60? See, that seems to me, wow. That's still only 55, so something's up with that shit. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know how to explain why that isn't working. But that is definitely not 60, but 55. Let's count that shit out. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That is 60. The problem is mine, not Fantasy Grounds. See what I did? I drew a line that's 12 and a half squares. Just because it's because I'm a moron, not because Fantasy Grounds is wrong. So let's try that again. Let's draw an actual line that's 60. Okay, so everything everybody said was right, and I just don't know how to use the program. That's the problem. I shouldn't even be doing this show, Furied. I should not be the one having a show about Fantasy Grounds because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. All right, so he was right. If you do if you do it, so that's 100% scale at 60. So now let's delete it and go back and test the other one, which should be right. And I'll bet you that reach doesn't even have anything to do with it. It might not.
They're all yelling your 60 line is not 60.
Right, but now I figured it out. Yeah, of course. Okay, so let's go back and put 80%. Let's change this to 75. Let's bring it on, and this should work. Oh god, that is really frustrating to not be able to grab that token. All right, is it 60? It is. Okay, now I want to try one more thing. So the reach doesn't have to do with the size. The reach has to do with how much extra square there is outside of it, I believe. So let me delete that and change it. Even if I put reach 15, I don't think it's going to change the size of the token. It should still be the same size. And it is. I can even tell. I can match it up. So there you go. All right, so now I think we have exhausted everything. I don't think there's anything else we can learn about this. But it's still awesome. And I think if I was DMing, I'm pretty sure if I was DMing, I would go ahead and I wouldn't mind the health bars, or I would go to my options and maybe do something else with the health bars. But I'm okay with that green line being on the token, as opposed to going here, bringing a token out, and then monkeying around with it for 7 hours. I don't know. I mean, I did that pretty fast, actually. So it just depends on how you want to do it. But those are the two legit ways to use it, however you decide. So there you go. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop showing things unless somebody has a question that they want me to do. I'll do it. Set it to bar hover. Yeah, so if you go to your options and go to the health, let's see, where is it? Tokens. If you go to your health, which I have show health as bar. If you put bar hover, then it only shows up when you hover over it. So that green bar on this token, which of course doesn't show because it's off the map. Oh no, it doesn't. The reason it doesn't show is because it's a token, not an NPC. So here, I'll show you what he's talking about. So see the green in here. I'll get rid of the background there. So that green bar only shows up if I hover over the token and make the token visible. So yeah, it only shows up if you do that. Otherwise, if your mouse, if you say, oh, I place this here, it goes right there. And then if I'm doing stuff down here, people are moving around fighting monsters over here, and then I come back over here to move this guy, I can still move him. But if I hover over the token, you'll see that green bar. But yeah, that's a better way to do it. So with Fantasy Grounds, obviously you can change all these different things in your options to do anything you want. So it's just dependent on how you do it. There'll be best practices that will emerge on how to use this, which I'm discovering. I'm actually learning them rather than knowing them before the show started. There's an option to allow players to see PC-friendly health bars, but not enemy health bars. Yeah. So that's in there too. Yeah. So there's we've done 2 shows about these in here, but she's right about that too. Where did I get the weapon tokens? So the weapon tokens, I'll see if I can find that. I had lost these at one point and went back and tried to find them. Oh wow, I found it right away. They're $1 and they're at. I'll put the link for you guys. This guy named Steven Wurr, I think. Yeah, here they are right here. So I'll put the link if you guys want to check them out. They're not Fantasy Grounds specific or anything. They're just dropped objects, and he's got some other things here that he has, but they're perfect. This is a really bad representation of like this. I think this is a little better. You can see them individually. The picture he has to sell them is just they're all piled on top of each other. But yeah, so Studio Wildfur, Wyldfurr, and I think the guy's name is Steven Wildfur, maybe. But anyway, that's the link to it. And oh, by the way, I'll put the link for these one more time in case anybody missed it earlier and didn't win a certificate to buy them. There you go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give away one more. Let's just do one more, everybody.
Since they stuck around this long. And,
Since they stuck around and watched me fumble around with, how does Rob know how to show people anything? So if you type in the word tokens, we'll have to give away one more $5 gift cert. So it's
tokens with an S.
Tokens with an S, yeah, absolutely. So people are exclamation point tokens. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, you're missed out on prizes. You gotta be here on Sunday nights. So we'll let that count. I probably could have done a minute instead of 2. So if you guys have any other questions, also if you have any other questions about Fantasy Grounds generally, you don't have to be about tokens. You can ask those now too. We started getting in the newsletter. I don't know if you're subscribed to the Fantasy Grounds newsletter, but Jen Page has started putting our show in the newsletter, telling people if you have questions, go there Sunday night and ask them. And I did not ask for that to happen, so that's pretty awesome.
Super nice.
Aren't
we supposed to be having one of them on the show soon?
Yes, on May 5th, which is 4 days after the Kickstarter starts on a Wednesday, I think Wednesday the 1st. And on
I won't be here.
Sunday the 5th, we're going to have John Gregory, also known as JPG, also known as Moon Wizard, who is co-owner of Smiteworks. He owns it. He owns the company with Doug Davison. And he's also the guy that basically updates everything for Fantasy Grounds now. And he's a heavy-handed developer for Unity as well. And he will be here. We haven't found out yet if he's going to be here live or if we're going to have to tape the show at some other point, like, Friday at 2 p.m. or something, and then show it. But he told me he thinks he can be here live. So when it gets a little bit closer, we'll find out. The only thing is if he can't be here live, you won't be able to ask him questions. But I'm sure he's going to tell us what we need to know. And then if he is here live, that'll be even better. So that'll be super awesome.
So, I mean, once we find out, we'll probably find out by next week, whether he'll be here live or not.
Yeah, probably by next week, but by 2 weeks from now at the latest. I'll confirm with them.
Okay, because I was going to say, put an announcement saying, hey, we're going to have to pre-tape the show. Please submit questions that you're dying to know.
Right. Yeah, I will do. If that's the case, I will make sure people know about that. Also,
which you can find out if you follow Rob on Twitter.
What? You have to follow me on Twitter, everybody. You have to follow me on Twitter, which is right there. That's my Twitter. It's just Rob2E. Also, special notification for your calendars. Definitely be here on July 28th. July 28th is going to be the 2nd anniversary of Fantasy Grounds College, and I got from Smiteworks a Ultimate license. Doug Davison granted us the permission to give away one Ultimate license, and then Layroon is going to give away another one. So we're giving away 2 Ultimate licenses during that show. And as a minimum, we might give away more. So if you know people, if you have friends in your gaming group who don't have licenses, or if you have friends that you think should want to get a Fantasy Grounds license, make sure you drag them to this show on July 28th. Go ahead, Fury. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I said I was going to throw in another one as well.
What? What kind of a... That's crazy, everybody. Well, fuck it then. I put per Fury Face. Let's change that. Courtesy of. So that just went from 2 to 4, everybody.
So you're getting on the bandwagon too?
Yeah, so I'm going to get the one I got from Smiteworks, plus I'll throw in one, and then you threw in one, and then Lauren threw in one. Her name is Lauren. Layroon. Every time I type Layroon in any place, it always tries to spell correct me to Lauren. It's very annoying.
That's when you have to add it to the dictionary.
So 4 Ultimate licenses are going to be given away on this show on July 28th, everybody. Mark your damn calendar now.
Yeah, Drake, you cannot get it for Unity. Not until Unity drops will we not give anything away.
Yeah, you won't be able to. If that's possible, we'll definitely let you do that. But I
Oh,
don't.
that could be a question to ask
Yeah,
John.
that could be a question. Can you pre-buy? If you win a prize from Rob, can you get it in Unity? I don't think so though. I think I'm 99% of the sure that you will not be able to to be gifted or purchase in the store a Unity license until it comes out probably in December. So you can obviously sign up for it on the Kickstarter, but you won't be able to actually go buy one physically to put on your machine until it's released. So I would say the answer is no. But if you win one on July, the Kickstarter will already be over. Yeah, so that so these prizes become a little less lame. But I'm sure nobody's gonna be upset if we give them a $150 thing, and especially if we give away $600 worth of crap right there like that. That's gonna be a big day. Wow. All right. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? Can I, if I win after the Kickstarter, I will probably get one through the Kickstarter. Yeah, who isn't gonna get one? I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna be the first one. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out when that Kickstarter is gonna turn on, and I'm gonna be refresh, number one. I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to beat me, but that's what I'm gonna be doing. It's probably gonna be some goddamn 3 in the morning or something, so they can do it for Europe time or something. I don't know. They haven't said yet, by the way. On May 1st, they haven't given the time yet because they haven't decided. Because I asked about it already.
Alex wants you to pick the winner. She's tired of you talking.
Oh, shut up and pick the winner? Okay, the winner is not Alex. It would be funny if it was her. So, Mr. Wolf, congrats. Mr. Wolf, just PM me in Discord, and I will get you your gift certificate for the DM's Guild. And Alex, you're free to go. if you were, the truth is, thank you, Alex. The truth is, I forgot. I would not have remembered.
I forgot too. I was too excited about the Unity.
Right, you were too excited about throwing $150 of your own money toward the show. Holy crap, that's very generous of you to do that. Layroon kind of has to do it. It's his whole second anniversary thing, but you and I don't have to. But that's just because we're awesome. That's why.
Well, because we love the college and they do so much good work, and why not?
That is very true. Oh,
especially because they support us too. Oh my gosh, all the time.
They do, yeah. And if there happens to be anyone in the chat right now who doesn't know what Fantasy Grounds College is, first of all, shame on you. But there's the link to their website, and this is if you're brand new or if you're joining us for the first time and you don't know what we're talking about when we say Fantasy Grounds College, that's just a website that is fantasygroundscollege.net. That is a website, and they also have a Discord server. While the website's loading, I'll show you that. Here's their Discord server. So they have they're approaching 5,000 people in there, and the main crux of that Discord server and their website is to just teach people about Fantasy Grounds. It's all free. They have legit classes like how to build a character, Combat 101, map making, how to DM like 101, 102, 103. So there's a whole curriculum over there, and there's a calendar and everything. So if you guys go over to that website, you'll see, and then there is a link to their Discord server, and also their Twitter account, their Patreon, the YouTube page, Instagram. What kind of bullshit Instagram? What are they, 18? Oh, I have Instagram. Shut up. Okay. I'm in Instagram. I know what's going on. I'm hip with the kids. I know about planking. I know what's happening. Games and fun guys and one shots too. Hey, I can't read it. Doom Solo? Is that what the name is? Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. All right, so now this show is approaching an hour, and so I bet you this isn't the shortest show anymore. I thought this was going to be 15 minutes.
Cheerbits in the stream. Thanks for the
Drake takes cheerbits. Bitboss. Drake take Bitboss cheerbits. Who is the Bitboss actually? It's now Drake takes, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure is.
It was somebody. I can't read that name.
So if you have other questions, here, well, let's not look at this boring screen. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what we'll look at. We'll look at the slides. We'll look at what's going on this channel. Every Wednesday and Saturday we have games that you can come play. Anyone can just show up and play. It's pretty awesome. Friday we have Fury and I are in this game. This is Dungeon of the Mad Mage on Fridays, where we all try to die. I've already died once.
And almost died again.
And almost died a second time, but I didn't. Sunday we have this show, and next week, of course, we'll be talking about what will we be talking about? I forgot already. Did I say? Oh yeah, no, I never did say this. Oh, well, here, let me go back. Let me show you guys this. So next week I'm going to talk about how to update Fantasy Grounds DM Guild modules. Because I get so many questions about that. That's kind of a sort of a Rob Toohey-ish, self-promotion show. But you can rest assured I'll be giving away plenty of prizes next week as well. But I get a lot of questions on how to update Fantasy Grounds modules. Actually, what's funny is this was Lay Rune's idea, and he's not even going to be here. What an ass. I suppose it's not his fault that his family are moving, and they're like packing up boxes and driving trucks all over town. But a lot of people send me messages or emails or PMs. Oh, hey Rob, I found this, and you might want to change it. And I would be like, no, I've already changed that. Check the updates channel. So we're going to cover completely how all this works and how you can, if you have anything of mine on the DMs Guild, you can go to this channel here, and it tells you when it was updated, what was updated, and on what day. So before you come to me and say, oh, there's a mistake, you go, oh, I don't have the latest. I better download that first, and then I'll check it. So we're going to go through all that, and then I'll give it. But basically, it's just going to be a prize extravaganza. I'll probably give away 10 prizes next week. You can remind me, Fury, that I said that. I can't believe I just said that.
Yep. We're going to record that, clip it.
Are you scratching the number 10 in your arm with a knife right now? I think you should.
So no, I'm not that crazy.
You're not a cutter? Oh, okay, well, that's fine. That's good. I'm not one either.
What do I look like? Some little teenage girl in high school?
Right? Some little goth kid that cuts herself.
Not that we're endorsing any of that or stereotyping any people who do that.
No, we're not endorsing it, but I am stereotyping. People helped make it longer. Oh, we all wish it was longer. Like wait for it. God damn it. 10 free Rob Turi Tortoise tokens. There you go, Drake. That's what I'll give away. The Tortoise token. Which is still lurking about somewhere on my hard drive. All right, we never got
around to the turkey, did we?
We didn't what?
The TV turkey.
The TV turkey?
Yeah, the Tui turkey.
Oh, the Tui turkey.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we have the Tui turkey either. I didn't put my hand on a piece of paper and trace the outline of my hand. Last time I did that, I was thinking about 7 years old. But it's a legit method to draw a turkey if you're a kid. All right, so I'm gonna close Photoshop. We don't need it. I'm gonna shut down the counter. We don't need it. I'm showing everyone behind. That's the cool. I actually kind of, my shows are not edited. They're not slick. They don't have like dear graphics and music during the show and everything. I don't do that. I just turn on the camera and I show everybody what you see, what I see. And if I accidentally go to my personal email box, then you see it. Hey, we got a new comment on conditions and effects. Let's go see what this guy said. Rob, I placed the mod file I just downloaded in the username my app data Fantasy Grounds modules and stated Fantasy Grounds, but when I start Fantasy Grounds and open the campaign and click on the zombie icon, I only see the standard icon. Yeah, okay, so he's got to open it in his library. Can see people though. Now wait a minute. Let me go to. Do I have the README file? Oh, I might not have the README file in that one. Let me see. I put a README file, or I haven't got to all of them yet, but I tried to put a README file. So the README file is not there. Okay. So I tried to help people. This is what we're going to cover next week. I tried to help people by building a README file, but evidently I haven't attached it to that one. Because what I've done is made a README file that says, this is going to be a preview of next week's show. Put your Fantasy Grounds mod in this folder. After placing the files there, restart Fantasy Grounds and the module will appear in your library. Oh. I guess I need to add, you then must open. No, not open. What's it? How do you say it? Let's see. If the module's in the library, you have to open the book. You have to load it. You have to load it from the data module activation. You then must load the module from data activation. So it's amazing the number of people that go to the DMs Guild, buy Fantasy Grounds items, and they have never used Fantasy Grounds. It's amazing to me. So I'm trying to do the best I can to educate people, but obviously when you buy something, when you buy a mod file, you kind of have to know what you're doing. If you've used Fantasy Grounds for 4, 5, 6 times and been in groups with people, eventually somebody tells you what's going on. Or if you read the manual, which no one ever does, you then must load the module from data activation. Is that right? Data module activation. Data module activation in the library. Okay, that's probably the best thing. Well, that's not a colon. It should be a quote. Okay. So yeah, you guys are seeing me do my job. You guys just saw that live. Now every time I update a file on or publish a new file or go make any changes or anything, I always just update this README file. Actually, what I need to do is, since I changed that README file, I need to go to the DMs Guild and I need to update 125 files. Because that's how many things I have now. Isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. It's 129. Jesus. So I have to go take that README file and attach it to these 129 files one at a time. So that's how you do it.